Hey guys, it's Smudge here, and today I want to kind of start doing something different. I'd like to start a YouTube series, and I'd like to do it something along the lines of flying challenges or something like this. Now, I love flying, I love flight sims, and I love DCS. It's a game I've been flying since Lock On and for some time. Now, Lock On, although it is a digital combat simulator, or DCS as digital combat simulator, and it is mostly about air-to-air engagements, air-to-ground engagements, and blowing things up. It is still a very challenging flight sim, and even just flying around produces quite a few challenges in itself. Now, what I'm in here is a instant action challenge, I suppose you could call it, which is to land the DCS Huey on an oil rig, and you can just see it maybe in the distance out there, just offshore. And the challenge here is to take off, fly out to that oil rig, and then land on it. Now, it's, for me, I suppose it is a good challenge because I'm not the greatest pilot in the world. I have to say that much. There are much better pilots out there than what I am. So for me, landing on an oil rig or a small rig out there it is a challenge. It is something to work towards. So what we're going to do is that we're going to fly out there, and then we're going to see if we can't land on this oil rig. Now, what I would like to do over the course of, I don't know, let's say 5 to 10 videos maybe, is for you, the YouTube viewer, to challenge me to do certain things in the flight sim, whether it's to fly and land on something, or to fly over something, or just some kind of challenge, something that isn't necessarily blowing something up, but involves, a little bit of skill in order to perform, whether it's landing, on an aircraft carrier with like a SU-33, which is something that you can do in a sim, or some kind of, like I said, some kind of flying challenge, something that will, challenge piloting skills, if you like. Now, what I kind of want, like I said, it is something that is challenging, but something that is also possible. I don't want something like trying to land a P-51 upside down on a train, for instance, or something like that. That's just kind of ridiculous. But certainly, I've been thinking of some challenges myself to do, like landing the UH-1 on a moving train, or on the back of a frigate or something like that. That does present quite a challenge. I think something like that would be quite fun to do. So yeah, I'm going to leave it up to you. Let's see how creative YouTube viewers can be in presenting something for me to try and do. And maybe if I can't manage it, or if I try and fail miserably, maybe I can pass the buck over to you and say, well, you've challenged me to do it. I've failed miserably. Let's see what you can do. So yeah, this is my own first challenge to myself, which is to land this UH-1 Huey on that oil rig, which I'm probably going to fail at miserably, to be honest, because when it comes to doing things in this Huey, I'm definitely not the best. Because with landing on certain targets, especially like that, you need to be fairly smooth and fairly confident in what you're doing. And although I do enjoy flying, and I believe that I'm an okay pilot, I'm definitely not kind of like the smoothest pilot, I'll have to admit. So at the moment, what I'm trying to do here is just kind of bring myself into something of a hover. Now I'm slightly high here, so I want to descend, but I can't descend too quickly, otherwise I'll enter my own rotor vortex and crash. I know, good, it started raining as well, just to make things even more of a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to circle descend here, because if you descend straight down, then you do end up causing yourself quite a few problems. And we'll see if we can't line up facing the pad. And the last thing I want to do is kind of overshoot and hit that oil derrick and end up killing myself. That would be absolutely fantastic. Oops. There we go. So I'm just trying to kind of get into something of a hover, but being out of ground effect and trying to hover in this thing, it becomes... Oops, there you go. So she started entering her own rotor wash there, and she's starting to get a bit floppy on me. It's just finding a good trim position in this so that you can... Oops, gotta watch that rate of descent, otherwise it's going to get me killed, I tell you. Like I said, this is supposed to be a challenge, and for me it really is, because yeah, I love flying, but I'm definitely not the best at it. So let's see, again, gotta watch my rate of descent here. I want to try coming down, but if you start descending too quickly, then it can end up being rather nasty. Oops. Again, I'm starting to get very, very close to that oil derrick, which is not very good. Don't want to lose my tail rotor, so I want to try and keep that in sight as best I can. Ooh dear. She is all over the place. Again, hovering outside of ground effect in a Huey, it really does become a handful. So I'm working the rudder here, I'm working the stick, just trying to keep this thing pointing where I want it to point. Now some people might find this easy, but I definitely don't, which is why it's kind of inspired me to start this mini-series, let's call it. So I've kind of got myself pointing the way I want to, I've kind of got the aircraft stable as I can, so I'm just going to start edging forward here, nice and slowly, and see if I can't flop her down on the pad. So again, just keeping a slight forward momentum on here and trying to watch my rate of descent. There we go, that's good enough for me. Any landing you can walk away from is a good one, as they say. So that's just down, so we'll shut down the motor here. Shut off the alarm there so we don't end up getting deafened. Yeah. So that's me not quite on the centre point, but I suppose you could call it achievable. But we're down safe, and that's the main thing. So again, like I said, you know, any ideas that you might have for some kind of challenge, something I can try and do, you know, something that will, you know, challenge a pilot skill or a sim pilot skill, then let me know. You know, post a comment, and you know, I'll try to reply to all of the comments that I can, and we'll, yeah, we'll see how this goes. So, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to hope to see what you can come up with. And this is Smudge, signing off.